All right, so today we're gonna be making us an open face steak omelet, and we're gonna be working with these round eye steaks, and this M9 AP season is gonna be the star of this show. So we're gonna take these little babies out. We're gonna season them down real good. We're gonna hit both sides of it with it. We ain't go with the steak season because it would have been a different texture on this one today. But before there was a steak season, that was this M9 AP season for your steaks. And so we got them baby seasoned into the pan, and now we taking a bell pepper. This is a small pepper. If you had a big one, you would probably just need like half of that bell pepper. And we just gonna remember that these caps of the bell pepper is still bell pepper. You can still eat it. It's bell pepper. So don't throw those away. Use them. And so we gonna cut this here bell pepper into some strips. Once I make everything stop falling, we gonna cut them into some strips, and then we're gonna turn these babies to the side. And we're gonna cut them on up again into some little bitty cubes, just dicing them up. Nice work. And now we're gonna take our onion. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna get this baby open, get that baby peeled, and we only need like half an onion, so we're gonna cut half of it into some slices. And then we're gonna take that baby and we're gonna start chopping it up just like we did them there bell peppers. And then we're gonna slide this baby on to the side. And can't forget your steaks are cooking. We're gonna flip these babies. It's been probably like 3 minutes here. These things are small and not thick, so they're not gonna take forever to cook. So about 2 or 3 minutes in, we're flipping those babies over and gonna let them finish the rest of their time out. And then we're gonna work with these here tomatoes. We're gonna rinse them babies off because they fresh out the Mrs. Garden. And then we're gonna give these just the same treatment as our onions and bell peppers. We're just gonna dice them up. Hiya. Alright, when your steak's done, we're gonna drain them. Think it probably had a total cook time, so between 5.5 and 6 minutes. And into the same pan, we're gonna go in with our bell peppers and our onions. Not the tomatoes right now, because you don't want them to get mushy and disappear and everything. We are gonna season these babies down with the M9 AP seasoning. Give it a little moving, make sure everything gets some of that goodness over it. Bye, y'all. Alright. And as you can see, if you drop your eggs from the right height, you can just drop them and get a perfect crack out of them like I just did. But now it bowl is full of eggs, so we can't do it no more. But I'm just cracking as many eggs as you want to use to make your egg portion of this. And yes, before we cook our eggs, we're going to hit them with salt and pepper. Not after, not during, before. Then you're going to mix it in. It's going to sit with it so that flavor's through. And you're going to have the flavor. You ain't got to worry about seasoning after. And you put a little milk over in your eggs. It helps keep them fluffy and creamy. And so now at this point, our onions and bell peppers about done. We're gonna go and add our tomatoes over in, get those mixed in well. And after about another minute and a half or so, it was done. Remove it from the heat. We're gonna get our eggs whisked up. You break the yolks first before you start the mixing and stirring. And look at this wrist work. That was about 11, 12 eggs. And I think probably in a total about 12 seconds, I got them drinks beat good. Look at that. All right, so we're gonna take our steaks, and then we're giving them the same treatment as everything else in this dish. So we're gonna cut them down into some cubes. And this is my sensuku knife and not my chef knife. Or is this a chef knife? What's the name of this knife? Either way, this one is mainly made from vegetables and things of that sort. But look how tender this meat is. It's able to cut on through it. So yeah, we're just cubing them babies up. All right, now into a butter pan, we're going in with our eggs, and we're gonna continue our wrist work. Just keep them babies moving. Now we're doing this over some low heat. You don't have to put your eggs on high heat. Yes, it's gonna cook faster, but they're gonna be drier, and there's more chance that you're gonna burn them and mess your pan up, have them sticking to it. And so here I just add a little butter in there, just more butter flavor, and we just keep on moving. And when you're working with low heat, you can do other things. You can leave it sitting for a second and come back to it, just like I just did to go get my cheese, and I ain't worried about it burning on the bottom. Because when I come back, I'm just moving. I'm going to keep it moving. So we're going to melt that cheese down throughout it. If you don't like cheese, eggs, I don't know what to say to you. So you're gonna keep that wrist work going. You don't let these babies, even though you low heat, you still don't let them sit forever. You keep them moving. That's how you keep them fluffy. You're constantly getting that air mixed in with them, and it's making them fluffier. And so we're just gonna make sure we ain't got no liquid. I don't want no liquid in mine. I want them fluffy, but I want them done. And so now at this point, we're getting them off. I didn't realize my plate was out of shot, but hey, can't go back in reverse time. So now we got our eggs, and they also soft. We're gonna spread them all over this plate to make sure everything get a little covering. All right, can't do that with no dry scrambled eggs. All right, so we're going over top with our vegetable mix, our bell peppers, onions, and tomatoes. Look at that colorfulness. It just looks so good. And then we're going over top of that with all our steak. All our 3 little round eye steaks. Good pile of meat. And then once we get all our steak on, ain't nothing wrong with a little chef portion. And so we get all our steak on, we're gonna scoop up the rest of these vegetables and go over top with it. Have you ever seen a prettier breakfast? Your steak open face omelet, or open face steak omelet, whatever you want to call it. Just call it delicious. Look at that, look at that. Had to give myself a chest pound. I did that. Y'all enjoy that.